what's up, guys? Holly Knight Alice here, reviewing Fairytail 100-Year Quest, Chapter 11. Wow, this, as you see in the thumbnail, Fairytail got obliterated. Like, there was, like, no hope for these guys. They caught, like, the biggest L they have ever caught. Like, ever. And it's just so weird because it was like, Ezra couldn't do nothing. Like, she was doing good at the first when they were just clashing, but once she got hit with that lady's magic, it was like she was just bowing to her and everything. And then Lucy and Wendy tried to like capitate on her, but she just cut them all up in pieces, and you see him laying there. Then Natsu, I got really upset at his fight because I believe he could have won his fight, but because of him getting seasick, and then this guy taking advantage and getting him more seasick and beating him up at the same time, that's how Natsu lost to Madmo. And then Skelon Rider beat Gray, and it was weird because he's using ash magic on Gray, and Gray can't do nothing with ice magic, so he started using his demon magic. And it was actually competing for a while until this guy used a dark ash magic, which, if that dark ash is what I think it is, that means he knows Demon Slayer magic as well, but he's supposed to be a Dragon Slayer. So that brings up the question, can all these 5th Gen Dragon Slayers also have Demon Slayer magic as well? Or do they know the dark versions of their magic so they can able to fight other dark type magic? And since Demon Slayer is a dark magic, the darkest of the darkest, it makes sense why he'd be able to fight against it if that's the case. But again, it's very interesting to see that Skelon Rider actually had a dark magic. Now again, it's not specific if this is a dark magic, if this dark magic is the dark version of his regular magic, or does he know demon magic as well? Okay, he did mention to Gray, oh, your magic is from the demon aspect. Sorry to, disappoint you. And then that's when he used that dark ash technique. So I'm assuming the way it's dialogued, he also knows demon magic, which is weird, but these 5th Dragon Slayers are very, very weird. But, just seeing Fairytail catch this L was like, wow, didn't really expect this. Like, they lost so quickly. I mean, we knew they were going to lose because of, like, the ending of last week's episode, chapter, how it ended off. Natsu being in that big disadvantage and seeing Ezra as well in her disadvantage. And Gray we didn't get to see his fight until this week's. So it was kind of a given that they were going to lose. They lost so horribly. They couldn't even put up a fight, technically speaking. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think none of them landed even a good blow on their enemy. So, but then we switch over to the Fairytail Guild, and we see Gajo and Wendy, and Gajo and Juvia trying to talk to Livy because that misunderstanding last week when Livy saw Juvia on the floor and Gajo was on her. Because they were trying to spot on Toka, but they fell, and that's how they fell. Of course, he will fall on her boobs, right? Like most anime tropes. And Livy saw that, so she's upset still, and she did she did that little pout thing, like she just pouts and turns around, which is very common in anime when a girl is mad at you, usually. So, but when this is going on, we see that the whole town of Fiora is getting hit with this magic energy that's shaking it. And this is from Skelon Rider, who's in a whole nother country. So, or maybe it's from Toka. It's from one of the two, but it wasn't really specific, but I think it's coming from the attack range of him, but it could be coming from Toka. Because we did see Toka in the end of this chapter, and she was in the raindrop saying, can't wait for my Natsu, my darling. And then Jalil is in front of her, and he gets right in front of her with this really angry face, and he calls her out, and that was basically the end of the chapter. But when we see Jalil, I keep saying Gajo, Jalil call her out, we see a print, the hero writes, and it states, something about maybe you need a god. I'm paraphrasing, 'cause I really can't remember, but it was something pretty interesting. Something about, or maybe only a god can help you. And it's gonna put this phrase on Jalil, so maybe Jalil's gonna learn god magic. Or maybe he's gonna be blessed with it, with Toka. So we know Toka is known as the White Witch. And she's supposed to be even more dangerous than Zeref. So, but for some odd reason though, she likes Natsu. How does she even know about Natsu? Unless she's the one who cursed Zeref, and maybe that's how she knows about Natsu? Maybe she's been watching him this whole time? Or maybe she helped Zeref, with his experiments on Natsu? I mean, who knows? Maybe the overpower ether in his body came from her. Or maybe she's the one who gave Zeref the demon sleep to put in him. Either way, I have a feeling that Toka is going to be connected to Zeref in some type of way. And Natsu, of course. Because it's like, why does she know about his existence, and why does she care so much? And how does Jalil know about her? I mean, I don't think he's part of the council no more. So how did he know that this lady is this dangerous and that she's a witch that's even older than like Zeref and Agdalogi and all them? There's a lot of questions that still haven't been answered about Toka, but that's what makes it interesting. And I have to admit, I know a lot of people hate that Ara's arc, the last arc of Fairytail. Yes, and Hero even stated himself he did poorly, and he even apologized and said he was going to fix the anime version of it, so hopefully he falls through with that. But the 100-Year Quest arc has been really good so far. Only 11 chapters in, and it's very good. I mean, story-wise, character-wise, power scaling, that be kind of iffy depending on which side you're on. I mean, I don't like the fact that these guys are one-shot in these Fairytail. I mean, granted, Natsu only won against like Zeref and Actologia thanks to ass pulls and bad situations. Spoiler alert, I do this when I said, to unpause, but spoiler alert, Natsu only beat Actologia because Actologia was dumb enough to trap all the Dragon Slayers in a realm with him there only in half power being in the spirit mode. Where Zeref, on the other hand, is more understandable because Natsu was always like his kryptonite, so only Natsu can land a finishing blow on him, which doesn't make any sense at the same time because it's like, Zeref got Fairy Heart, which is infinite magic, so even though he's a kryptonite, it's like the fact that actually still worked and he was able to beat him and kill him, which Fairytail's not supposed to be able to kill nobody. That's one of their rules, yet Natsu kills Zeref, so it's weird. There was a lot of BS in that last Fairytail, but again, this was a great chapter. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for next week. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen between Jalil and Toka. Cause Jalil, for y'all that don't know this, Mistango was my favorite character. So I always liked the way he acted in his magic. So even though Jalil is completely different from Mistango, he's still kind of like him at the same time. So technically he became my new favorite character since Mistango's gone. But great chapter, can't wait for next week. But like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and make sure you press the notification bell and you put all. Because if you don't hit the notification bell and you just hit subscribe, sometimes YouTube won't even give you guys your notifications. And this doesn't just go for me. Make sure you do this for all the YouTubers that subscribe to and watch. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.